Hello everyone, myself M.S.M.Aamina Parveen from 2nd BA English. I am going to review the book The Story of an Hour by Kate Chopin. The Story of an Hour, written by Kate Chopin in 1894, is about the tragic event or events that happened with Mrs. Louise Mallard one day. The story starts with the news that Mr. Brintley Mallard has died in a rail accident. Richards, Mr. Mallard's friend, is first to hear the shocking news and he informed the Mallard family immediately. Mrs. Louise Mallard has heart disease, so great care is taken in informing Mrs. Mallard about her husband's death. Josephine, Louis' sister, takes the responsibility to break the horrible news to her. She says in broken sentences the truth veiled in concealment. At once, Mrs. Mallard breaks down completely. She goes wild with grief. When the storm of grief has subsided, she locks herself in her bedroom. Sitting on an armchair near the open window of her room, she looks at the blue sky, physically exhausted. The spring air smells of upcoming rain, of fresh greenery and flowers. She can hear a distant voice singing a song, countless sparrows twittering madly somewhere. As a kid, she used to cry herself to sleep literally every night. She was quite young with a calm face, but now there is a steeliness in her stare. But her gaze isn't of reflection, there is intelligence and knowledge in that gaze. She goes quite still and waits with fear for what is coming for her. But she doesn't know what exactly is coming her way. She fights and wins everything that comes in her way. In her semi-conscious state, she keeps whispering the word free repeatedly. The fear and vacant expression is replaced by a calm, bright and keen expression. At last I am free is her first thought. She thinks that her husband, though kind, never really loved her. She feels suffocated and hopeless with him, not loved and cherished. But now that he is dead, she can be free. Free soul, free body were her exact words. Josephine was kneeling outside Louis' door, begging her sister to open the door. Louis screams that she is fine and asks her not to worry about her. Her imagination has taken her on riot. She was imagining herself during summer, winter, spring, and in all seasons alone, enjoying herself without any restrictions or sadness. All of a sudden, she rises and opens the door and walks down the stairs hand in hand with her sister. But when she reaches the bottom stair, someone opens the door with a latch key. On the threshold stood Mr. Mallard, travel-stained, calmly carrying his umbrella and gripsack. It is known that he was quite far from the place where the accident had taken place. In fact, he didn't know that there had been an accident at all, let alone that someone had put his name in the dead men's list. Then everything happens quite fast. Richard tries to shield Mr. Mallard from Mrs. Mallard's view, but it is too late. The shock of seeing him again kills Louise at once. When the doctors come, they say she died due to her heart disease. In this story, The Story of an Hour, as the title suggests, is really a story of an hour of Mrs. Mallard's life. It is a third-person narrative. The writing style is quite simple but intriguing as well. The author has done a great job in describing Mrs. Mallard's despair and then her happiness. The story flow is quite smooth, nothing seems forced or unnatural. The description is quite simple and can make the reader quite curious at the same time. The main concern of the story has been the character of Mrs. Mallard and the purging of her heart by the sad news. Mrs. Mallard was apparently never loved by her husband and was trapped in her loveless marriage. The event of her death prompted a kid of rebirth for her. The author presents the social themes like male domination in society and loveless, unsuccessful marriage. The position of women in the society is under the author's scanner. It has been almost an identity crisis for Louise, which she feels she finds back after her husband's death. That is why the unexpected return of her husband was so shocking for her. Thank you.